History has been made. A man who was being slammed, criticized, and attacked from every angle possible has won and been named as the new mayor of New York. Yes, Zohran Mamdani won. The common masses of New York have chosen Mamdani as their face and have shown Trump that they no longer are afraid of his threats of fund cuts, which he was blackmailing the New Yorkers with if they chose Mamdani. As the results poured in, one name echoed across the streets, subway stations, and newsrooms: Zohran Mamdani. A man who ran not just a campaign but a movement that spoke for those long forgotten in the political chaos, the renters, the workers, the dreamers, and every New Yorker who has watched their city become too expensive to call home. For over a year, Mamdani's team, powered by more than 100,000 volunteers, pushed for one vision: to transform the most expensive city in America into one that's livable and just for all. His message was simple but powerful. New York should not only belong to the rich and powerful, but also to the people who make it alive every single day. But as the election heated up, a storm began brewing from Washington. President Donald Trump issued a direct warning that if Mamdani were to win, he would move to cut federal funding to New York. He even urged voters to support Andrew Cuomo instead. Can you believe it? Can such tone and blackmailing be made by a president openly only because Mamdani is a Muslim? Nevertheless, Mamdani stood firm. He refused to be intimidated. In his pre-election address, he made it clear: threats from Washington do not define the laws of the land. He reminded the people that a president's words are not the same as law, and that no city should be bullied into submission through political blackmail.
President Trump says he plans to reduce federal funding if you win. What are your thoughts on that?
President Trump also encouraged every New Yorker to vote for Andrew Cuomo. There are many things that he will say and that he will do that will not actually bear out in the results within our own city. I will treat his threats as they deserve to be treated, which are the words of a president and not necessarily the law of the land. And too often we treat anything that he says by virtue of who's saying it as if it is already that law. What we see in the language of Donald Trump is a premise as if it is his decision on whether or not to fund a city the very money that this city is owed. And I look forward to utilizing every single tool at my disposal as the next mayor of this city to fight for the people of it. That means using the courts, that means using the bully pulpit, that means ensuring that we actually follow the letter of the law. And I know that doing so is something that threatens Donald Trump. It's why he's gone after Attorney General James, because she had the audacity to hold him to the same law that every New Yorker is held to. But I will not be intimidated by this president. I will not be intimidated by anyone, because my job here is to serve the people of the city.
Mamdani made it obvious that he does not care about Donald Trump's threats. They no longer terrify him, and he simply refuses to be intimidated by Trump's bogus threats, which he will discard as rubbish. Mamdani's speech captured the frustrations of millions of New Yorkers: rising rents year after year, endless waiting for public transport that never arrives, and families forced to leave their city in search of affordable housing elsewhere. He spoke of those who browse apartment listings in New Jersey, not out of choice, but out of necessity. His vision: to end that cycle. To build a city where staying home in New York isn't a luxury, but a right. What made Mamdani's message resonate and the reason for his now victory wasn't just his definition, but his hope. He called for a new era of politics in New York, not defined by fear, corruption, or empty promises, but by accountability, courage, and urgency. He emphasized that while we cannot choose the scale of the crises we face, from housing to inequality, we can choose how we respond. And his promise was to respond with the urgency that New Yorkers deserve. Addressing Trump's threat directly, Mamdani vowed to use every legal and constitutional tool available to protect the city's rights. If necessary, he would take the battle to court, to Congress, and to the people, ensuring that New York receives every dollar it is owed. He reminded Americans that the funds in question belong to the people, not to any president's personal discretion. He even referenced Trump's past hostility towards New York's Attorney General Letitia James. A sign, he said, that standing up to Trump's misuse of power comes with consequences. But Mamdani was clear he would not be threatened or bullied, not by Trump or anyone else. His loyalty, he declared, lies solely with the people of New York. In an age of political threats and fear-based governance, when politicians are being silenced by either money or by power, Zohran Mamdani became a new face of New York who is neither afraid of even the US president nor swayed by money. He spoke as a man unafraid to challenge the most powerful figures in the nation, determined to protect the dignity and livelihood of his people. And this is also maybe the main reasons behind his victory. The New Yorkers saw how courageous Mamdani was, how he never backed down even when the whole Trump administration and Trump himself were attacking him from every angle possible. Whether one agrees with his politics or not, one thing is undeniable. His campaign has reignited a belief that New York's soul can still belong to the people. And as he said with conviction through his words and actions, it's time for a new day in New York's politics. He dared to challenge Donald Trump over his misuse of power, and this unafraid attitude of Mamdani and bullying attitude of Trump, the New Yorkers as well as the world have witnessed. Throughout the New York electoral campaign, Donald Trump has attempted to damage Mamdani's image, intimidate or blackmail New Yorkers, and even deployed media propaganda machines to portray Mamdani in a negative manner. Such behavior is unsuitable for a sitting president. The hatred for Mamdani is evident, and despite Trump's best efforts to drive him away, we see that he is still standing firm and even defying Trump. These tactics did not embarrass or disgrace Mamdani. Instead, they portrayed Trump as a bully in the eyes of New Yorkers. These tactics backfired on Trump by making Mamdani even more likable in the eyes of the general public. And we saw the results today as Mamdani made history as the next mayor of New York. That's all for today. If you found the video informative, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Jazakum Allahu khairan.